Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into TSSR Game Time Live. I guess what you could call, what is it, Saturday Night Live calls it the cold open. That's kind of what we did tonight. Just right into things. That's how you like it. Just with no extra fluff on top. And we're here this evening. I'm going to say right now, a big thank you to Mr. Matt Clark for a little camera work for me here tonight. And on the floor for the Cyclones, Ruger Olson, Brody Cordell, Ryan Clark. Also, Eli DeCounter and Matt Whitman. Sam DeCounter, the coach of the Cyclones. And the Cyclones get the basketball first. So come across. Rushville Industry, they are in the road purple. As they go to work, nice feed into Ryan Clark. Up and in and good. And the Cyclones are on the board first at 2-0. Just underway here in this one, we'll give you the Rushville Industry lineup. It is number 32, Brody Brush, also joined by Ryan Reimolds. In the lane is number 1, Jagger Bartlett, and then number 23, Ryan Reimolds. And we'll get the post player sync. There he turned, and it's Jackson Spencer. Cyclones man on man, and bulling his way into the basket. Tapped away. We'll see who they say that's off of. Official Daryl Ippenson says, let's go this way. I guess, as my good friend Mr. Rob Dunham used to say, left to right across your radio dial, actually right to left technically, or across your TV screen. Brody Cordell with it, loads it down to Whitman. Whitman giving a look, bringing it out top forward to counter, a couple bounces, back to Cordell, nearly has it picked away, now does. Brush able to pick it away, and off quickly to Spencer, he'll drive in, nice block by Clark. If the camera shakes, that's because we've got a proud uncle. DeCounter right back up and down the lane, out to Whitman. Whitman waits, holds. To Ruger Olson. Olson had DeCounter, missed him. They kind of run a couple different offenses. Well, into Ruger Olson, he'll travel as he goes up with it. Sam generally uses UCLA, BYU, also motion. Cyclones will apply a little pressure on the inbound. Bickerman will bring it up. Fires it out for Brush. Brush is shake and then wings it the other way. Now they'll run. Off the top screen, backing his way in the lane is Spencer. Missed him, drive to the hole, up, in, yes, and it counts for Bartlett. And it makes it a 2-2 tie here early on here, 6:01 mark of the first quarter play. You can probably see when we usually go to the other end of the floor, you can see the big new scoreboard. I think they can see it from down at Quincy. 2-2 tie as the Bartlett free throw is no good. Now DeCounter brings it up to Whitman. Into Cordell. Cordell off glass, gets it to stick, and in and good. So 4-2. Brush coming back the way. We'll have our first substitution in a moment. Clark did a nice job sliding in front. Now they look to load it into the post. Dropping it in for Spencer. He'll spin, passing out to Bartlett. And Bartlett will put it on the floor a couple times, chased by Ruger Olson. Back to Brush, near side. Gives a bounce out, swings it to the outside. Working over for Bickerman. Bickerman. He'll put it on the floor, come down the side, try to get in the lane, and DeCounter able to knock it away, saves it back in. Ruger Olson scoops it up off to Whitman, back to DeCounter, and here will come the Cyclones. Up 4-2 in this one, bouncing for Olson on the far side wing. Olson getting Cordell on the back cut, drives up in, and nope, they're going to call offensive foul. If this were the NBA, I don't know, that'd been outside the charge circle. Bickerman triggers it in for Bartlett. Into the ball game now, Brady McGinnis, a freshman. And they'll load it in the lane, load it for Spencer. Turn, work to drive, lost it. To Bartlett now, 4-2. They do. Back out. Bounce it over to Spencer. Spencer waits. Going to get a cutter off of him in Reimolds. Reimolds stolen by Clark. Clark up to the counter. In the lane he goes. Missed a layup. Clark gets the rebound. Whitman 3, no good. And the rebound tipped. It'll be Spencer snapping it up. That'll send him back the other way. Out quickly in the corner. 3 and up and on the way. And that a little bit long, but a nice rebound there by McGinnis. Spencer. Back out to Bickerman. A blistering 4-2 scoring pace here so far. As they'll swing it back over. Working on the outside to Reimolds. Bounces now, coming down for McGinnis. He'll drive in, turn, cut off there, lobs it out. Nice catch by Reimolds. He drives on Whitman, goes to the hole, puts it up, missed. Olsen with the board. And they'll work it back the other way, out to DeCounter to Whitman. Whitman to Cordell. Into Eli DeCounter, he'll spin, shoot, shot, won't go. And out of there with the rebound comes Rushville Industry. 3:19 left to go here first quarter. It is a 4-2 pace so far. Whitman gets it down and gives a look. Now Reimolds directs a little traffic, shoos everybody out of his way. Gets the ball back, and now gives to Spencer, tries the backdoor cut. Lost the handle on it, out of bounds it goes, back over to the Cyclones. Ruger Olsen will bring it on the way. Jair Flora Durham on the floor, replacing Cordell. Bounces out to Olsen. Olsen holds and waits over to Whitman. Whitman to Clark. Clark, get back to Whitman. Whitman lays it up. He won't get it to go. And Reimolds down with the rebound. All the way up to a running Bartlett. He missed it. Olsen high up for the rebound. And he'll lead the charge back the other way. Olsen to Jair for Durham. To the counter, over to Whitman. And Whitman nearly had it poked away. Jump ball, possession arrow will go to Rushville Industry. Cyclones had a late night last night, maybe having a little trouble getting up and out of the mud. Ruger Olsen goes out. Aiden Percy checks in for the Cyclones. And on the dribble, here comes Reimolds. Reimolds waits, fakes, comes to Spencer. Thinks about the shot, pulls it down. McGinnis. Couple of bounces over to Bartlett on the pass, finally to Bickerman. Watching them cut through there. They're running a lot of back cuts. Spencer with a 3, no good, way off the mark. And Flora Durham out of there with the rebound, off to the counter. The counter to Clark, lays it up and lays it in. 6-2 now lead here for West Prairie. Minute 40 left to go in the first quarter play. Top for McGinnis. Hunter Jackson will check in just a second. Ball pass to Reimolds under the basket, lost it. And so now the aforementioned Hunter Jackson will check in, replacing Matt Whitman. Into Percy. Now Percy brings it over to DeCounter. DeCounter watches Percy cut through, holds. Pick from Clark. Out to Flora Durham, over to Percy. Percy dribbles it back out top. We work down toward a minute left to go here in this first quarter of play. 6-2 Cyclones lead. Clark backs it out, comes over to Percy. Cyclones running motion here. Out to the counter. He'll drive lane, kick out for Percy. Percy driving in, lays up. We'll draw the foul. Aiden Percy is really, we've seen an upswing in him doing that over the last probably 6 to 8 games. Had a real good one last night at Bushnell. Kind of turned the tide a little bit there. And now Aiden Percy will step up the free throw line, the lone lefty. Puts it up and puts it in. Makes it 7-2. Second one on the way. It is good. 8-2 lead here. 50 seconds left in this first quarter. Reimold's coming up. Dribbling down toward the near side. Gives to Beckerman. Looking at Bartlett working on Percy. Swinging over to Spencer. Spencer. And Reimold's actually knocked it away from him. Clark will pick it up. He'll bounce it over to DeCounter, and they'll walk it up here. We'll see if Sam DeCounter holds for one. Hunter Jackson holds it out on the far side over to Percy. Percy. Lane nearly lost the handle. DeCounter able to scoop it up. Couple bounces back over to Percy. Percy working us down to 15 seconds left. And traveled with it as he drug that pivot foot, so it turns it over. 11 seconds left. Rushville Industry will get a chance here. Reimold's coming across the timeline. Holds it up, comes to the near side. Trying to work on Hunter Jackson. Pick from Spencer. Pulls up. Shot is no good. And Percy will snap it up. That'll head us over to the second quarter play with the score. West Prairie Cyclones 8. Rushville Industry Rockets 2 right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back here, about ready to start second quarter play. Do want to thank our very fine sponsors for making our broadcast possible here this evening. Hope you do all enjoy them. If you do, let Dwayne know how much you enjoy hearing TSSR Game Time Live right there in your cozy living room, and or wherever you're at. Maybe you're in the gym. Maybe you're somewhere else, as we are all over the place. So hopefully we'll see you in a gym or on a TV screen sometime in the near future. And again, glad you're alongside us here as we work along here. Second quarter starts with DeCounter, Jackson, Clark, Flora Durham, and Percy. Percy gets it. Far side wing bounces to Clark. Clark misses shot. Spencer out of there with the rebound. Spencer, Beckerman, McGinnis, Bartlett, and Reimold on the floor, driving out of the way, and a foul by Flora Durham on the bump. Just for a minute, we all did the bump. And so Brody Cordell will check back in. He replace Jair. And now they bring it in the lane. Spencer misses the shot and knocks Eli DeCounter down as he went to get the rebound. So the foul there, that'll each team with a foul in this second quarter of play. Coming back the other way here, the Cyclones going back to work, leading 8-2 so far. Jackson up there with it, coming out to Clark. Ryan Clark right down the lane, scoots through, puts it up, and puts it in. Ryan Clark, one of the guys that I love to watch play, the hustle, the speed. And I'll tell you what, if he was 6'4", there'd be a lot more people talking about him, the things he does out there. McGinnis works to Beckerman. They're looking to Reimolds, can't find him. Now to Spencer, they'll scissor off of him. And McGinnis dive in lane, blocked by Clark and out of bounds. And we've got a timeout called by Rushville Industry. We'll step aside as well. This is, of course, TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer the Cyclones and area teams on to victory. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2023. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in Donna, Henderson, and Hancock County area. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com. Some of the quickest internet around, and it is fantastic. I don't know if they'll take any off my bill if I publicly endorse it. No, we don't do payola here. As they'll work it out now, Reimolds will take a bounce. He'll step it over to Brush back into the ball game. And replacing McGinnis. Dribbling around to the far side. Up top to Reimolds. Over for Bartlett. Bartlett dribbling on Percy. Still working here over to Spencer. And Spencer traveled. He kind of switched his feet and turns it over. 10-2 Cyclones lead. If you like offensively challenged games, then this one's been one for you. I think we've had 1 3 attempted, or 2 threes attempted, none made. And now the Cyclones go to work. Percy watching to counter, cut through. Looks for Clark, nope. And Sam to counter, not happy with something there. As we'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC. I have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
Find the right cycle combinations. Simply choose what and how you want to wash and dry to help keep clothes looking their best. Intuitive Controls, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Back here, 10-2. Brody Cordell missed a shot there, and we work with 5:58 clock rolling here in this second quarter play. Beckerman to Spencer, hands to Reimolds. Reimolds diving down toward the lane, and got a push foul whistled on Ryan Clark, as Ruger Olson had done a nice job of knocking it away. Box offensive set here, and actually now they spread it out. Looking in for Bartlett, nope, comes out to Beckerman. Beckerman with a hold. Over to Brush, he'll bounce into Spencer. Spencer eyeing things from the high post. Waiting, comes out to Beckerman. Holds and waits, nearly had it poked away. To Brush, works it over to Bartlett. Wanted the backdoor cut to Beckerman, couldn't get it. Back to Beckerman, over to, looking at Brush or Reimolds, gets picked from Spencer. Drives it down the lane, puts it up and just right up and right in. And now a 10-4 valued companion for a good buddy. 5 minutes left in the first half. 10-4 lead for West Prairie. Out to Percy. Percy, he'll drive lane, stops, turns to Clark. Clark in the lane, lays it up and in. 12-4, back to an 8-point advantage. Reimolds brings it, working on Ruger Olson. The Brush, swinging it for Bartlett. Bartlett right past Percy, puts it up and in. And we'll make it 12-6. 12-6 here. Percy shakes, waits, holds, looks at Clark, and as his pass taken away, drives in. Olson going to commit the foul. And so that will keep it with Rushville Industry, but no foul or no shots. As Olson's second, Matt Whitman will check in, replacing Aiden Percy. Spencer. Reimolds over to Brush. Brush down to Spencer. He'll toe up the three. No good, and the rebound, Whitman able to chase it down, has it batted away. Brush able to pick it back up and travel. Kind of batted it around and was able to scoop it up and take off. Ruger Olson bring it inbounds. I must be in the Clark section tonight. Got Clark's this way, Clark's that way. The Clark section. Didn't know you had one of those at West Prairie. Up to DeCounter. DeCounter waiting. Drives down the far side out to Olson. Thought the three. Pulled it down. Over to Cordell. Cordell with a nice move inside. Able to duck up and under. And it gives the Cyclones a 14-6 lead. Rushville Industry going to work with it as they work it down into Reimolds. He was thinking about going into the post. Gets it out to Spencer. Spencer doing the guard work now. Pulls it up to Brush. Waits, works it out. Holds. And now comes over, first appearance in the game, Eli Ayers. Brush, stops out to Spencer. Over to Reimolds, 3:20 left to go here, first quarter. Bartlett giving a look. Down to Spencer through his hands and out of bounds. Turns it over to Rushville Industry. And we've got, I don't know, I guess the crowd could start singing when the lights go down in the city. Sam DeCounter turned them back on. Couple of substitutes, Ayers and Brush will come out, coming in making his first appearance, Reese Bigham. Also coming back, McGinnis. They bring it over to Olson. Olson holds, waits. Goes on the drive, goes to put it up, gets it up and in. Ruger Olson, when somebody overplays you and hugs you like that, that's what you do. You go right past them to the hoop. West Prairie makes the lead, 10. Reimold to McGinnis all the way down the corner. Bartlett will put the three up. No good. And rebound thrown away as Bigham had it and threw it away. (16-6). Into McGinnis. McGinnis will set it up here. 2:40 left to go first half. McGinnis ducks down. Brush in the corner. He'll try the three. Little bit outside. And now Matt Whitman comes up the floor. Whitman works over to Olson. Down to Ryan Clark. Clark spin. Nice spin move. Missed it. And the rebound. McGinnis out of there with it. Off to Brush, down to Bartlett. He'll look to work on Whitman, toes up another three, gets our first Sports Corner three of the night, and cuts it down to 16-9. Out to Whitman. Whitman overplayed. He'll drive in, get it. Yes! And it counts. And it'll be on McGinnis. That'll be his first. And Matt Whitman right now makes it 18-9. Brush goes down. Eli DeCounter takes a seat. As Jair Flora-Durham comes in. Whitman gets it to roll home. So the Cyclones take a 19-9 lead. Out of there with it is Reimolds. Reimolds to Bickerman, who missed the lay-in. And out in the hands of Whitman. We work down to a minute and a half left to go here in this first half of play. Flora-Durham will get past Spencer. And one of the things, Rushville Industry being aggressive on the passes, but they have gotten beat backdoor. Which as a coach, you do not want them beat backdoor. Olson out to Clark, over to Whitman. And now walks it out here. Cordell tried to lob it into Clark, stolen away by Bartlett. And they'll come back here the other way. 19-9 lead here for West Prairie. Under a minute we go in this first half of play. Bickerman will look at it. Up to McGinnis, over to Spencer. Hands it to McGinnis. McGinnis past Clark. We've got a hold foul on Clark. And that will be the fourth on West Prairie in this first half. Eli DeCounter comes in. He'll replace Brody Cordell. Reimolds looking for the lob, gets it. Spencer gives to Reimolds, who lost it off the foot. Out of bounds. Wasn't sure whether they're going to say it was off Ruger Olson or not. They did not, so it is out of bounds. We'll come back over to West Prairie. 49 seconds left in the first half. Flora Durham drives in, scoops it up and in. Nice drive by Jair. Puts it up, makes it 21-9. 30 seconds left. Reimolds working it up here. Cross court to McGinnis, down to Bickerman. Bickerman lost the ball off his leg and out of bounds and turns it over. Rushville Industry having a hard time getting going here tonight. As Matt Whitman will bring it to Ruger Olson. Olson walks it, gives it to the counter. And he'll set up. 10 seconds left to go and counting here. They're trying to work for Eli to counter out top. Nope. Underneath to Clark. Clark goes up, missed it, and Bartlett out of there with the rebound. Bartlett up quickly to Reimolds. He'll put up three. Won't go. And at the end of the first half of play, the Cyclones lead at 21-9 over the Rushville Industry Rockets right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
As you know, MDH is our title sponsor here on TSSR Game Time Live, and we're here with Lindsay Douglas, the Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment. I about left out provider out of that. So Physician and Provider Recruitment here at MDH. It's a huge mouthful for me, so explain to us what that is.
Sure. So I am in charge of bringing in candidates for both physician and provider positions here at MDH. So provider meaning anything like nurse practitioner, advanced practice nurse practitioner, physician assistant, things like that. So I source those candidates, bring them in, and try to find the best providers and physicians to provide care at our facility.
So you found a home at MDH. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Stuff
Sure.
like that.
So I am from Macomb originally. I graduated from Macomb High in 2009, graduated from WIU in 2014, studied communication there, and started my career in politics and worked for a couple different state representatives and state senators. Then found myself in the educational realm for a little while at the Regional Office of Education, and eventually found myself here at MDH. I started here in February of this past year. I started out as patient advocate, and this role opened up, and I'm now in the role of Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment.
Obviously, McDonough District Hospital, very important to Macomb.
Sure.
And it's the communities not only of Macomb, but Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, Industry. You're from here. So what was it that drew you back here and got you to stay here at MDH?
So MDH is like home to me. I am a fourth generation MDH employee. So my great grandma Nancy Weaver was one of the first nurses that they hired when the hospital opened in 1958. My grandma started working here maybe 10 to 15 years after that. She started as a CNA on acute care, and then she worked in peds, and eventually she worked as the unit secretary for home health and hospice, and she retired from that position after being at MDH for a total of 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. My mom is here as an administrative secretary. She's Brian's administrative assistant. And so I'm now here as a fourth generation employee of the hospital. So it was kind of a thing where I always thought I might end up at MDH just because of that family legacy of working in healthcare.
So before we came on camera, I heard a story. You guys were at a speaker recently, and you got to be there with your mom.
Yeah.
Does that make it really special to be a part of MDH, to still have your mom working here?
It's so cool. My mom is down the hall from me. So if I need something in the middle of the day, I can run down the hall and grab her. But it's also just cool to think about like the legacy that leaves in the community, especially being fourth generation and female. I think that's just a really special thing for my family and for this community here.
So as we look at those kind of, you have a personal connection here. How do you use those personal connections when you're out trying to recruit a physician or a provider?
Sure. So I use the story a lot of my office, actually. So I'm in room 318, which was a room for patients at one time, and now they've converted it into an office space. And one of my favorite stories to tell physicians is that my great grandma was sick in the hospital and was in that room, and that's where my grandma was recruited to join MDH. So my grandma had no plans of working in healthcare, but she was taking care of her mom as a sick patient. And the nurse at the time came to her and was like, "You are such a great caretaker. Why are you not a nurse? Why are you not doing this as your full-time occupation?" And so my grandma decided that healthcare would be her lifetime and like 50 years. And so she started working for MDH and was recruited right out of my office. So I just find that to be a really special connection when I'm looking to bring people to this community. Like, the recruitment started in this office 50 years ago, and here I am starting a whole new legacy of recruiting people. And I just am so passionate about this community, and I just love living here. I moved back here from Quincy, chose to raise our family here just because we really love Macomb, and we really love being in McDonough County.
So obviously the personal touch, you got the great personal story. You love Macomb. What does MDH offer to the providers and the physicians? What's the sales point for you on the professional level?
So because we're a small rural healthcare organization, your voice is heard here much louder than when you're in a large organization. So when you're in one of those larger hospital systems, you might be one of 15 to 20 providers in a specialty. At MDH, you might be one of two, you might be one of one. And so your voice in that medical staff office is going to be the loudest one in the room about your specialty. And that's a really unique situation for a physician to be, the main voice for speaking for pediatrics or for speaking for orthopedics or whatever that specialty is. You're it. You're the guy. You're the one providing the care for the whole community. And you don't get that if you go to a large healthcare organization.
So those bonuses are probably obstacles in some cases as well.
Sure.
So how do you overcome those obstacles?
It really depends on the provider. If someone is really wanting to be in a place where they're just in the background, they don't want to be that main voice, I kind of have to tell them, this is unique. It's a unique community where you're going to go out into Walmart to get your groceries and run into one of your patients, and you're not going to find that everywhere. And that might be scary for you, thinking about, well, I don't want to mess somebody's care up and then run into them and have to explain it to all of Walmart. But it's just, you can also sell that as you're not going to go to Chicago and work somewhere where you're going to run into your patients every day.
Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you coming and talking to us today. Hopefully some people can understand more about MDH and how it's such a family-oriented business and so important to McDonough County and the surrounding area. Keep doing a good job, and maybe your little girl that wanted that 100 chicken nuggets can be the next generation to join MDH.
Exactly.
Well, we'll be back after halftime here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
Welcome back here at the half, as Benny Hill used to say. Hello, viewers. As we're here, would love you to go into our chat feature if you wouldn't mind and let us know where you are viewing TSSR Game Time Live. And folks, I know saddest part of the year for me, anyway, I don't do baseball and softball. Saddest part of the year for me is coming up. If you look at it, about 2-ish, 3-ish weeks, and we're into the February frenzy that goes to March Madness. So I am pretty sure our last broadcast of the year from here for boys or girls, will be on the 9th. Will be next week on Monday night. Will be senior night here for the varsity. Not the 9th, it is the 12th, I think. I'll have to recheck my dates on that. And it is actually Monday, February 12th is our last home basketball broadcast of the year, or for West Prairie anyway. So Dwayne is going to be doing some stuff from our regionals and that, but for me, that's pretty much my sign-off, barring some extra things coming up for the year. So been a fun year from volleyball all the way through, and man, you blink, and here we are. And here we stand toward the end of the season. 21-9 is the lead for West Prairie right now. We'll see who they start here in just a moment. Don't forget, your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area, and as a customer, they will take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121 today. Face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin, State Farm, Macomb. You can reach him at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. It is Bickerman, Brush, Spencer, joined out there by Bigham and Bartlett for Rushville Industry. Out to Brush, dribbling down. We'll get the Cyclones here as Brody Cordell near steal to Spencer. Spencer dribbling in, fakes. Out to Bickerman. He'll toe the three. It is no good. And the rebound to Rockets, fought for it. And he threw it off between. Trying to throw it off Brody Cordell's foot, went between his legs and out to Spencer. Yes, that is exactly how he drew it up. Brush over to Bartlett. Will wheel down, trying to get away from Bickerman. Spins out. And now over to Spencer. I will say this about Rushville Industry. They are extremely deliberate. Bigham to Spencer. Down the near side. Wheels it out of there. Looks to lob up to Bickerman. Tipped away by Matt Whitman. And now they'll bring it in. 6:58 mark here of this third quarter of play. Again, glad you're alongside her while the varsity contest coming up. Into Spencer. Spencer shot short. Matt Whitman with the rebound. And out of there with it they'll come. Over to the counter. Gets a pick from Cordell. Down to Clark. Clark wheels it out of there. And now to counter will step up. Three on the way. Is good. Sports Corner three for Eli to counter. And it is 24-9. Jair Flora-Durham will check in a moment. Brush holds it now. Comes over to Spencer. Gives the handoff. Drives down on Whitman. Cut off. West Prairie playing really nice defense tonight. Pass is thrown over the head of Whitman, but Clark able to tip it back to him. And a foul on the way. So Matt Whitman will step up to the free throw line. I will say this, West Prairie came out a little bit sleepy last night. Much better tonight. Whitman, free throw on the way and good. Brody Cordell will come out. Now Whitman will put it up and on the way. Second one is good. So makes a pair. And it is 26-9 now. Inbounds coming from Ayers. Over to Spencer, who will walk it up here. 26-9 lead for West Prairie. 6 minutes left to go. Third quarter. McGinnis down the lane with it. Bounces to Spencer. Out to Bigham. He'll toe three. Won't go. The counter snaps up the board. And the Cyclones will come back the other way. Over to Whitman. Whitman back to the counter. He'll toe up three. No good. And the rebound snapped up. Ayers with it. Ruger Olsen able to rip it away from him. And he'll bounce it out to Whitman. Cyclones will go back on offense here. 5.5 left to go in the third here. Olson waits into the counter. He'll fade away and put it up and in and good. So 28-9 lead here. Aiden Percy will check in a moment. McGinnis up with it. Over to Spencer. Passes up for Bartlett, who will wheel off of Ayers. And as it's stolen away by Whitman. Whitman on the run, weaving, dodging, puts it up and puts it in. Matt Whitman makes it 30-9. Lead now for West Prairie. The Cyclones lead it here by a 30-9 advantage. Now come back the other way here. And that one, Bartlett went up, couldn't get it to go. And we'll see, I noticed something with the scoreboard, folks, today. That is the problem. We had too much clicky going on here. Sorry about that. The old man and the technology do not like each other. And that's a well-documented story from me across many of the broadcasts here. Free throw is good, so it is 30-10. 4.5 left to go here. Bartlett with 10 points in the ball game now. Olson holds onto it, down to Clark. Clark back up to Olson, over to Percy, down for the counter. And he'll wheel it. That one tipped away, and he'll stay with West Prairie. As McGinnis saw that coming. Percy ready to bring it inbounds. Back to the counter in the backcourt. He'll work it up here over to Percy. Percy in for Clark, over for Flora Durham. He'll drive his way and miss the shot. And the rebound Ayers down with it. Off to Bigham. Bigham has a 3-on-3 if he wants it. Now pulls it out over to Spencer. Spencer. As they go back to work here, down by 20. Rockets going toward the lane here. Spencer going up is going to be bumped and fouled. And Ryan Clark picks up his third. That'll put Spencer up for them. Brody Cordell, it is Ryan Clark's fourth. We'll have mass substitutions here for Rushville Industries. Spencer makes the free throw. As Reimold's Brush also making hit. And Carter Freetag coming in as well. Spencer with the second one. It is good. And also checking in, Chase Bickerman coming back for Rushville Industry. 3:50 clock rolling here. 30-11, 19-point lead for West Prairie. Over for Percy. Percy in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Bartlett out of there. He lost a handle on it. And Reimold's out of there with it. Dribbling up, puts it up on Olson, can't get it to go. Rebound Bickerman, he'll put it up and put it in. So a sudden burst by Rushville Industry cuts this lead down to 13. Cyclones will take a timeout to talk things over. It is 30-13 lead here for West Prairie. Here in this third quarter play, this is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Pawn Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 Hexon Street, Macomb, between Airco and Taco Bell. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday as an option. You can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're age 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Jair Flora Durham bouncing over to Percy, over to Olson. in the lane. Flora Durham put his head down and kind of had it tapped away. It'll stay with West Prairie. And a good crowd on hand for tonight's ball game. Fans know it's counting down in the year here. Inbounds to Percy. He'll put up the shot, no good. Rebound Olson with it. And he'll work us under 3 minutes left to go, third quarter. Over to DeCounter. Down the lane, he'll shoot it and stick it. One of the better shooting games we've seen out of Eli DeCounter. Now makes it 32-13, back to a 19-point lead. As Bartlett brings it. Tries to wheel into lane, comes over. And now out for Reimolds. Reimolds down for free tag, over for Bartlett. Down for Beckerman. Looking at Reimolds, can't find him. And wheels it over for Reimolds. Reimolds dribbling lane, puts it up, can't get it to go. Cordell had the rebound, lost it out of bounds. .218 now left in the third. And Brody Cordell going to get the personal foul, reaching over the back. Inbounds to Brush. Brush up to free tag. Swings it. Now they bring in the lane to Bickerman. He'll fake, go up, and have it partially blocked by Cordell. Out of there with it comes Person. We work under 2 minutes left to go here, third quarter. Over for DeCounter. DeCounter for Olson. Swinging to Percy. Percy driving lane, dumps off to Cordell. He'll put it up. Yes! And it counts. That is going to be on Brush, his first. Cordell at the free throw line makes it. And so ups it to 35-13 with 1:50 left in the third. Bartlett very quickly up. Dribbles in, has his pass stolen away by Flora Durham, who lost it off. Got bumped and lost the handle on it. And now coming in for the Cyclones, Caden Little will replace Jair Flora Durham. Inbounds to Brush. Brush bouncing back for Bartlett. He'll shoot shot and got it. So now Rushville Industry getting the offense going a little bit. 35-15. Ruger Olson out for Little. Little takes a few bounces over to Percy, over to Olson. Olson in the lane for Cordell. Cordell puts it down and is stripped by Bartlett. And then Little going to give a personal foul. So personal foul there on Little. And Hunter Jackson will get up here and come in. Jackson coming in. And with 1:14 left to go here in the third quarter of play, Beckerman will bring it in into Reimolds. Reimolds explodes into the lane, puts it up and puts it in and good. And again, here comes Rushville. 35-17, cutting it down to an 18-point lead. Makes it 35-17. And we have a blocking foul whistled as Bartlett stops Caden Little from driving in. Little ready to throw it in into Hunter Jackson. Jackson, nice lob to Cordell, gets it up and gets it in. So 37-17, Reimolds having trouble getting it in, comes to Brush. Brush to Reimolds. Holds it out top there, dribbles in the lane, goes up right through the defense, up and good. So 37-19. And Olson fouled by Bartlett. And we are going along here pretty quietly, pretty smoothly, and then all of a sudden, here come several fouls. And so Jackson will trigger it into Ruger Olson for Percy. Percy waits. Spins. Looks. Olson driving in the lane, lost the handle. Little went to pick it up, and he'll be fouled. And so Caden Little will step up the free throw line with 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Little. Free throw's no good. Ready's the second one. And it is no good as well. And Bickerman was in a little bit early, so we will shoot it again. Little. No good, and so Brush pulls it down. So Rushville Industry can pull within 16 here. Bickerman up to free tag. And Jackson picks his pocket, looking for some help, and travels with it. Bartlett ready to throw it inbounds. In it comes. Reimolds quickly in the lane, goes up with it, and I missed it. That was actually one for Mr. Castleberry. And Reimolds will step up to the free throw line. That is 3 on Brody Cordell. Remember, Ryan Clark with 4. Reimolds' free throw is good. Toilet bowled it in there. Second one's good. So cuts it to 37-21 at the end of 3 quarters of play. 37-21, the lead for West Prairie. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Welcome back here as we head to the fourth quarter play. It is 37-21, the lead for the West Prairie Cyclones as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play. As there was a little discussion at the scorers table. And the officials getting them out of the huddle here. The fourth quarter ready to go. We'll have the varsity contest coming up for you in a little bit after this JV contest. The proverbial hub and or bub will go on in between ball games. And now Ruger Olson throws it, has his pass taken away. Brush, after it went through the hands of Hunter Jackson. Reimolds up with it, drives down the lane, tried to go back to Spencer, and he's fouled. And so that is on Eli to counter. On to counter, that is his first. Ryan Clark back out there, Aiden Percy, Ruger Olson, and Hunter Jackson. Lob is into Spencer. Reimolds waiting, cutting. Spencer going to go to work. He'll drive on to counter, go up, and fouled from behind. That is his second, and Spencer will go up to the free throw line. So Spencer at the free throw line. Misses the first. And so West Prairie ordered 2 quick fouls with 7:48. You don't want to put Rushville Industry at the free throw line with no time running. Second one is good. So Rushville Industry as close as they've been in a while at 15. Now Ruger Olson coming to Percy. Percy down. Clark in the corner. Into DeCounter. DeCounter dribbling out to Olson. Olson toes up 3. No good. They'll go over to Rushville Industry. So Cyclones facing a little adversity here as the Rockets starting to come on here, and Bartlett right in the lane, puts it up, puts it in. And it is 37-24, lead down to 13. Hunter Jackson dribbling, lost it. Beckerman up. And off in the hands of Reimold. Reimold right down the lane, throws it out to Bartlett. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, Spencer had it. Bickerman's got it. He and DeCounter tie it up. Well, it's Rushville Industry basketball. Caden Little will come in as well, replacing Aiden Percy. Jair Flora Durham will check in. Replacing Hunter Jackson. Rushville Industry can cut this down to 11 with 7 minutes. Roll the timeline. And on that one, Reimold's let it go right through his hands and out of bounds. Cyclone lead is down here to 13. Reimold sneaking up and taps it away. Olson into Clark. Back to Olson. Dribbles it up, nearly had it poked away, gets it back. And throws it right into the hands of Brush. Brush trying to get up the sideline, and Little gonna stop him. .650 left to go. Here come the Rockets. A 3-ball cuts this to 10. And what looked like the Cyclones were kind of walking away here. Suddenly, Rushville Industry with a little bit of life. Reimold's 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, Bickerman with it, and actually got undercut by Spencer. Off in the hands of Little. Had tried to get it over to his teammate, to Flora Durham, bounces to Clark. Clark up, gets it in good. So a huge bucket there by who else? Mr. Clark. And off to Brush in the lane to Spencer. Spencer. And they've got 24 on a hold, trying to hold on to Flora Durham. Rushville Industry will take a timeout, so will we. You are viewing TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
And we're back here, 39-24. 15-point lead. I guess high drama or middling high drama. Is that a thing? I don't know. As it has definitely become a little interesting here as the Rockets have not gone away and they've been able to chip a little bit off the lead. As they'll come back out here. Ruger Olson looking to bounce it in into Little, Caden Little. Hands off to Eli to counter. And a foul by Reimold. As Olson triggering in, that one's stolen by Brush. Athletic steal from him. And the Rockets, they bring it to Bickerman. Bickerman driving in is fouled by Eli. Oh, stepped on the line. Nope. And that is on Eli to counter his third. Matt Whitman will check in. He replaces Ruger Olson. Caden Little out, Aiden Percy in. Reimolds into Bickerman, up to Brush. Waiting for Reimolds, finds him in the corner. Up to Brush, still looking at Bickerman. Now they get him. Bickerman traveled with it as he tried to take his feet. Nice job by Jair Flora Durham to wall him off. 39-24, Rushville Industry got a pressure here. Percy trying to get it in, trying, and 5-second call. And the Cyclones, again, little adversity. Bickerman ready to trigger it in. He gets it into Brush. Right back to Bickerman, has it long, tipped out by Flora Durham. Jair Flora Durham doing a nice job defensively. As Bickerman waits. Into Bartlett. Bartlett puts it up. Can't get it to go. Percy out of there with it. And nearly had it stolen. Now fighting for it. And a jump ball. Possession arrow will say West Prairie. (39-24), 5:41 left in the ball game. Again, with a three-pointer, basically a five-possession game. Inbounds to Whitman. Whitman avoiding pressure, heads up the middle of the court. Slows, waits, wheels it on out of there. Picks up his dribble, comes to Clark. Clark. Looking. Clark looking to drive. Nearly had it picked away. The counter gets it. Back out to Whitman. Whitman for Flora Durham. He drives his way in. Shoots it, hits the underside of the basket. Clark able to steal the rebound out of there. Whitman going to drive, and he'll be fouled there on Rushville Industry, just their second team foul. Whitman going to bring it in. Or actually, is Percy going to bring it in? Whitman chases it into the backcourt, which can do. Under 5 minutes we go. Bartlett matching up on Whitman. Down for Clark. Clark has Percy. Percy fouled underneath there by Brush. And Aiden Percy will step up to the free throw line. Trying to get things going the other way for the Cyclones. McGinnis will check in just a moment. And Percy's free throw no good. McGinnis in, Brush goes out for Rushville Industry. Percy, second one is good, makes one of two. 40-24, lead 16. McGinnis quickly up the near side. Passes for Bartley, he dribbles on Clark. And goes up and goes in. Not much Clark could do there because he has the four personals, so 40-26. Leads 14, Whitman. Trapped on the outside, up to counter to Percy. Percy bounced down to Flora Durham. And a jump ball, possession will stay with West Prairie. And I tell you what, this is one of the most tenuous 14 points. Actually goes to Rushville Industry. One of the more tenuous 14-point leads I've seen. McGinnis nearly loses it, gathers it back in. Dribbles into a corner, fires it in the lane. That one tipped and stolen by Whitman. The counter across half court, picks it up over to Whitman. Whitman for Percy. Percy down for the counter, bounces to Clark. Clark out to Whitman. Going to be very patient. Running under 4 minutes left in the ball game. Clark holds now. Waits, gives a look, bounces to Percy. Percy to the lane. It is good, Aiden Percy. Starting to gain that confidence to drive there. Ups it to 16. Reimold's out top there. Up to Bickerman. Bickerman down the far side. Picked up by Flora Durham. Up to Spencer. Spencer thought 3. Pulled it down. Now working on to counter. Out to Bickerman. Heel toe up 3. No good. And that's going to be a foul on Spencer on the push. And it'll be West Prairie basketball. Bigham will check in. Bartlett out for Rushville Industry. Matt Whitman out. Ruger Olson in. Into Olson. Olson. Out to Percy. Percy's got a 2-on-1 with Spencer. Bounces to Flora Durham. He puts it up and puts it in. And that one gonna put it up by 18, 44-26. Bigham 3, no good. Rebound to counter down with it. And he'll pull it out of there. And the Cyclones will go back the other way. Over to Percy. Percy dribbled in the lane again. Kick out. Nearly had it batted away. Olson gets it. And he's bumped and fouled, so we'll have free throws the rest of the way here. Ruger Olson at the free throw line, trying to notch it back up to 20. Free throw is no good. So Brush and Ayers back in. Spencer and Reimold's out. Olson up. And it is no good. Rebound, Bigham out of there. Up the court he goes. Pulls it up, comes over to McGinnis. McGinnis the other way to Brush. Brush bouncing out to McGinnis. And over to McGinnis, drives on Percy, puts it up, and he's fouled. Will Phelps and Jason Faust will check in for West Prairie. So Aiden Percy with the personal, and that'll put McGinnis up to the free throw line. Free throw is good. Eli to counter and Aiden Percy come out. 2.5 left to go here in the ball game. Free throw is good. Clark inbounds to Olson. Olson gonna bring it across the timeline here. Looks out for Clark. Clark screens up top for Phelps. Phelps over for Faust. Faust with a bounce over to Flora Durham. Flora Durham back to Faust. And for Olson. Olson spins out of there. Flora Durham. As Faust gonna drive lane, puts it up, gets it to go. Jason Faust. Might have been an extra step or two in there, but he puts it up and in anywho. Minute 50 left to go here in the ball game. Bickerman dumps it out to Bigham. Brush over to McGinnis. McGinnis to Ayers. Ayers out to Brush. Over for Ayers. He'll drive on Flora Durham. Spin it out of there. Up to Bigham. Over to McGinnis. With 1.5 left, over to Brush. Brush. Over to Ayers, and Olson had it tapped it away. Bickerman picks it back up, drives into Flora Durham, and offensive foul. Nice job by Jair to move and get that one. Little and Jackson will come in. Ryan Clark and Ruger Olson will come out. There's an offensive foul there. They buzzed for free throws, but that is an offensive foul. So you don't get free throws on an offensive foul. Faust over for Flora Durham. Flora Durham looks. And McGinnis with a push on Hunter Jackson. That'll mean free throws for Hunter Jackson. So Will Phelps at the free throw line. Readies himself, or Hunter Jackson readies himself. Free throw is good. And makes it 47-26. Readies the second one. It is no good. Flora Durham had the rebound, and actually Bickerman had it, lost it, got it back, and here he comes up the court. Brush, nice free, tried the reverse, puts it up again, and the ball bouncing around. Brush going to put it up on the way, no good. Flora Durham had it, and then Beckerman tapped it out of bounds. Cyclones will get it back here with 49 seconds left to go, 47-28 lead for West Prairie. Now they'll come back the other way. Working for Jackson. Jackson hold on, coming out to Faust. Faust driving in, out to Jackson. He'll toe up a three, no good. Rebound, Ayers out of there with it. And Little will pick up Brush at half court. They go to work. Lob in with Hunter Jackson. Knocked her. Bigham gets him. Rebound tipped out of there with it. Comes at Jackson. Jackson walks it across half court. 10 seconds left. Caden Little working down. Coming to Faust. Faust shoots shot. Won't go. Little the rebound. He puts it up and puts it in. Little puts it up at the buzzer. Makes it 49-28. Is our final score. The Cyclones win it there. We're going to stop off, reset things, and be back for the varsity contest in just a moment. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.